Welcome back. If you just tuned in, this is TV Africa Breakfast Live. We are active on Facebook, very active on Facebook at TV Africa GH. Please connect with someone. Let them share. Let's all share so a lot of people can reach us and also benefit from whatever we do on this segment. This is the E&L segment. And this morning, our topic is a very beautiful one. Because we are going to be talking about something very deep. Yes, the topic is the importance of sex and intimacy in marriage. Now you know the reason why I mentioned sex instead of success. Forgive me for that. And I have with me a very wonderful, great counselor who is also a lecturer. He's in a person of Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah. Daddy, good morning.
Good morning, Manye. You're looking so...
I don't know why we are wearing white today.
Oh, well.
Maybe from here we have to look for some wedding bee and go like that. Sir, you're most welcome. Can you take a second and say hi to family and friends?
Oh, okay. Let me say a very good morning to cherished viewers of TV Africa and also to my wife, Lydia, and my children, my Macpel, Maclois, Macberyl, and Macasia.
Wow.
Macpel, Maclois, Macberyl, and Macasia.
Okay. It's a nice one. You need to pick some names. You know, I think there's spiritual understanding with these names. When we close, I'll ask and I'll give you the information. So this morning, Daddy, our topic, when you heard we are going to be talking about sex and intimacy, can you share with us what came into mind?
Yeah, I think one thing that I've seen that especially Christians, shy away a lot of time when we are talking about the sex. But that's one thing they don't know. In fact, when you look at how God created man, I always tell people, you see, man is tripartite. Man is a spirit, lives in a body, and you have a soul. So the central part of your soul is your mind. So you have emotions and other things. Now, if you check all the elements that things that we do, the only thing I think was two things that touches all these three levels is sex and the word of God. That's prayer. Okay. These two. Music touches the soul. You understand? The word, when you hear the word of God. So sex is so important to understand that it affects your all the levels of you as a person. Okay. Your spiritual level, your psychological level, and your physical level. Sex, touches all. So when you marry, one thing I always tell people, so sex bonds you spiritually to your wife. That's why when you read the Bible, 1 Corinthians, chapter 6 will tell you, when you are joined to your wife in sex, you become one body with that person. Okay. So spiritually, sex connects you. Psychologically, your emotions are joined together. Right. And physically, see, when people live together, they even begin to behave the same way. They begin to speak the same way. It's true sex. So it's very important. So when you understand it, then you have to know why God will now command. Let me read something quickly in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 3. The husband should fulfill his wife's sexual needs. This is a commandment from God. Mm-hmm. That tells how important sex is. God knows something you don't know. God is commanding you. You should fulfill your wife's sexual needs. Now, when you read further, there's something there. The only time you can even think of stopping or not having sex with your husband is when both of you agree to pray. So the only substitute to sex in your life as a person is prayer. That tells how important sex is. The only time, so I always tell people, whenever there are issues in marriage and you come before me, there are two things I'm looking for. Or whenever the devil wants to destroy any marriage, he starts from touching your sexual life. When your sexual life begins to go down, when you hear a woman saying, I'm not interested, this man puts me off. When your sexual life begins to go down, know that it's an attack on you, there's an attack. And when your prayer life begins to go down, these are the two elements. Whenever the devil wants to destroy any marriage, he touches your sex life and your prayer life. But you see, saying this, one thing we should also not take into consideration is that as human beings, as I said, we operate on three levels. People, we have emotions. We cannot always, because of our emotion, the thing we do, thing that happens around, be interested in sex. This is where some of us are also getting it wrong because we feel that especially my men are always ready. Mm-hmm. We always want to be on the road. We want to always do it. But women are not like that. So now look at how the Bible puts it. The man should fulfill his wife's sexual needs. What God is telling you is that your need as a man, your sexual need as a man, differ from the sexual need of a woman. We are not the same. You understand? What turns you on as a man may not necessarily turn on. But unfortunately, we begin to look at ourselves from our dimension. Okay. You understand? So it is important we outline what are the things that can help us boost our health, romance in our marriage.
Let me chip this in before we get there. Sex and intimacy, is it the same thing?
You see, yeah, intimacy or let's say romance, depend on the dimension you stand. When you when you look at from the man's point of view, man defines sex as intimacy. The women define other things. That's the level I was coming to.
Hey,
so that's what God, no, that's what God is now. God didn't say have sex. He said He's making it conscious. He said the man should fulfill his wife's sexual need, which means there are needs of a woman. You understand? A woman is not just interested in the physical touch. No, there are things that turn a woman on. For instance, if you're even defining romance or let's say love in a relationship, to a man, is defined as respect.
Okay.
Man define love as respect. But women, you can define love as attention. You can never tell a woman you love her until you pay attention to her,
right,
until you have time for her, and until you what? So it's attention, time, and affection, until you speak well to the woman. You understand? So you cannot tell a woman you love her, or let's say have intimate with a woman when you don't give her these three things. I mean, attention, time, affection. I mean, normally we also add, peace, that's security. If a woman doesn't feel secured in a relationship, she's not happy.
So I think when it comes to women, when we talk of intimacy, we don't just see it as a physical contact or connection between two people.
No,
but we also believe that there's this, let's say, type. Okay, so emotionally, we feel there's something like that. There is something like mental intimacy. There is something like psychological. Yeah. So in all these ways, women we are specific about, and we know at the very point, at each point, what we are expecting.
Of course.
Is that it?
Of
but
course.
Men are not like that.
No, man is always ready, and I think that there's a reason for that. Somebody, because spermatozoa is already there, is always ready to come out. So men are always ready, but women need to be turned on. Right? Let me also say this. I was sharing this somewhere. Let me put it here. There are 5 themes that define romance in everybody's life, or let's say even love in our relationship. The theme is that as even women, though I've just mentioned attention, time, and we differ, women differ. There are some that lives on to reaffirmation of words. No matter how Manye is beautiful, before you came out, you looked into the mirror, you saw yourself beautiful. But if you are in any intimate relationship, let's say you have a husband, you still want your husband to open his mouth to say, wow, you look so beautiful. Exactly. That's how God designed. So some women, their love thing or their romance thing is based on reaffirmation of words. You speaking good words to her. That's what define her romance. That's what define. So when you begin to speak rubbish or things that are not of some kind of, vulgar words to her, you put her off. She will never feel happy. That's why somebody can be in a relationship. The husband is buying cars, Range Rover, and building houses, and yet the woman is not happy. I'm not happy in this relationship. Wow. And you'll be wondering, but you why? Yeah, I wish I'm not like you. I wish if my husband happens to buy one. But the point is this: that person saying this may have a different love thing or romance thing. That would be maybe drift. Their love thing or romance thing is built on what? Drift. As long as the drifts are coming, she's happy. That's how some women are. So when you meet somebody who is receiving drift and she's happy, and you're like, the way your husband speaks to me, I can't stand it too. And you're like, wow, she's happy in the relationship because she's getting what defines her romance thing. Drift. You yours may not be drift. Me, as long as you're doing the drift, I don't even care how you speak to me. But others, they don't even care how what the kind of drift you buy to them. If you can't speak well to me,
because I feel you are stressing me emotionally.
So this is where we are even getting, because sometimes the people we date before we marry, we import certain behaviors, thinking, okay, because I was moving with Manye and she was interested in drift. Now that I've seen her push here, as long as I'm keeping the drift, I'm expecting her to behave or respond the same way. No. women are different. So you need to understand the love theme of your wife. You cannot have proper romance in a relationship. You cannot be intimate with somebody until you understand the person's love theme or romance theme. So you have the reaffirmation of words. We have those whose romance theme is what? Drift, receiving drift. Go out and get what I want. So there are some who they'll be there and say, well, just what I was thinking about. That's what you brought to me. Maybe the person thinks, I wish I can get one Vuitton bag. And just as the man comes in, he brings the Vuitton bag. Well, that's why I love you. You are fulfilling my need. This is what I need. You understand? Others too, their love theme is quality time. You need to spend time with me. You can get everything for her as long as she doesn't have your time. She's not happy in the relationship. So you meet somebody and it's like the husband has provided everything. She still go, out and say, I'm not happy in this relationship. I don't see my husband. Are you okay? The man is out there working, getting. She is not interested in the date. She is not interested in, hello, I miss you. She wants to have quality time with you. See, that's what most of us are failing in our romantic life. Because like I said, we just assume women are the same. Women are not the same. You cannot have proper relationship with any woman. The first thing you need to do is first understand her love thing. Then we have some, DS is what? I'm mentioning quality time, right? Others are physical touch. As long as they are with you and you're playing. Somebody say, he knows the right place to touch. He knows the right. You see, when you hear some of these things, but what is it? Yes.
Not just knowing the right place to touch, but knowing the right thing to do.
That's the point. But others don't care about that. That's the women are not even the same. So, although we define love to women as attention, affection, quality time, when you pick each women, when you're defining them, they're all defined in a different form. Why? Because what will put you on, what will make you happy, may not necessarily make Akosia happy.
Daddy, some women find it very difficult to let their spouse know when they really need them in bed. How do we help someone like that?
Yeah, so this is what, see, it starts from when you knowing yourself. All that I'm just explaining. There are some who don't even know their love thing. You understand? So there's something in them which is not being met, and you meet this person, he's not happy. Now, when we talk of somebody getting a husband in bed, like I said, it also takes different form. You need to also understand the men. You understand? Like I said, I just defined the women by the men, like I said, define romance or respect or love as well respect. You cannot speak anyhow to a man and expect the man to love you. No way. You understand? Another thing that men define as love is service. Some men define love, so call it was service. Until he sees you, doing what he needs you to do, he will never be happy with you. So you see some women saying, I do everything for my husband, yet my husband doesn't, come around me. My husband is angry. Like I said, if you make a man feel that he's nobody, you disrespect a man, you lose him. So recently, a woman told me, for about 2 years now, my husband has not been sleeping with me. You know, the person asked, what is the relationship? But from one thing I also want to chip in quickly is that one problem we have not identified is that most of us are married, we don't even know our temperament. You understand? So for instance, so talk of temperament is what defines us. You may be a melancholic as a lady. Melancholics are very thoughtful. They are those who think. They think about everything. They are very analytical. They are very perfectionistic. They want to do things in an organized way. One thing about and they are perfectionists, they want it to be done perfectly. So such a woman marries a man who is a choleric. Now that man is very task-oriented. He is ambitious, trying to achieve everything. Those are the people who can provide everything. But their weakness is that when they are under pressure, they speak, they are sarcastic. They can insult you in public. Now, this is two people marrying. The woman is melancholic. She thinks about everything. So the little words you speak to her, whether good or bad, she takes it in and thinks about it. So you can just say one small word, like maybe, let me use this word, I'm disappointed in you or something. You may think just not anything. This woman can think about it. The whole day she's moody. And you wonder, what is wrong with you? You understand? So that is also imparting on our romance because we don't even understand our temperament. We don't even know the people we are married to. From my years of counseling, that's one thing I've noticed. Most couples come, and when there are challenges with some of these things, you notice that they don't even know. But you see, that brings us to the Bible. That's why when the Bible was establishing relationship, the foundation to marriage is not love. It's understand according to the Bible. The Bible speaking says, how can two work together except they agree? The foundation to every relationship is understanding. We need to understand ourselves. But that's where most of us are failing. And it's affecting our romance. Because of, I don't know my wife to be a melancholic. Therefore, I speak anyhow to her. And as long as you speak anyhow to her, she's always moody. She's not happy in the relationship. You understand? You also don't know your husband. So, for instance, this cholerics, they don't like challenging. When he says A, you're also challenging. He's also mad at you. It destroys your relationship. So if a woman is having a challenge in getting the husband, one, she needs to check her interaction with the husband. Like I said, first of all, she needs to even understand the temperament of the husband because we are different. One thing that you say to me that I'll go mad at you. Another person will hear the same way, then it's normal.
It's normal.
That's it. Depending on our temperament. Phlegmatic can just listening to you and he's not. That's why they are those people. For they always want to ensure peace. They don't like.
They are called them a.
Yes. They always want to ensure peace. Even when they are being hurt, they will not speak. So if you are such a person as a friend or as a husband, you will not have issues. You can speak anyhow. But if you have a choleric, he will respond to you.
Okay.
So first and foremost, we need to understand ourselves. I think from my years of counseling, that's what I've seen. Couples come, and almost everything they are saying about each other simply defines one problem. They don't know and they don't understand themselves.
They don't understand themselves and they don't know themselves either.
Yes.
They are just there.
Yes. So you have the one, you're not happy. Why are you not happy? Pastor, I'm not happy. Like I said, so her love theme is not being met. And she doesn't even know herself to know that this is my love theme, to even communicate it to the husband. That means, as for me, what makes me happy is gift. Get me the gift and I'll be happy. What I like is sweet words. Make sure you are always saying sweet words to me. You understand? The communication is not there because we don't even know ourselves. So we need to, and let's also chip in. That's why I always tell people that counseling is not for marriage. Counseling is to help you to identify yourself. So don't wait till you're about to marry before you go for counseling. When you meet somebody, one thing you need to do is to go for counseling to understand yourself. If you meet a good counselor who will check your spiritual level, check your psychological level, and even check your sociological, the environment you interact with, the houses, families you're coming from, the church background, because all those things can clash your marriage. That's what people don't know. Every level, in fact, that's what I always tell people. If you want to choose a wife or a husband, ask yourself, is this person going to help me spiritually? Because you're a spiritual being. Is this person going to help me psychologically? But if you meet somebody like the melancholic I just mentioned, one thing they don't like is sex. Not that they don't like, but you see, they revere their body. You understand? And because the mind is connected to the private part. Whenever she's not happy, she can never open her legs for you. So if you're such a person, you're going to have issues on sex. Why? Because anytime she's not happy, it's very difficult for her to open her legs. Unlike the sanguine, if you have a sanguine woman, she's always in the mood. Yes. So even women, like I said, we are different types. A sanguine woman will come to you and say, one year, today I want you, or do anything to just let you know, I want you in bed today.
Can someone have two temperaments?
Oh, yes. We have sometimes you can have the primary temperament and a secondary temperament.
I think my producer should arrange for a particular section where we are going to be talking about temperaments. Yes, because this is a broad one that is actually opening our eyes to. But then our time is almost up, and I would want to ask, apart from making babies, does sex and intimacy have a different benefit?
Oh, yes. I think
for the couple? I
think I was reading some write-up. I mean, I'm not a medical officer. I will not,
I understand.
Yes. I will not say I'm one. But at least I've read wide. And when you check sex, in fact, medical doctors have come up with birth benefits. I've mentioned that spiritual, as a pastor, spiritually says plays a role. It bonds us. But medically, I think I was reading something sometime. Let me quickly, and they were outlining the benefit of sex. So they mentioned that sex helps you to achieve a lot of things, even during pregnancy and the rest. Sex helps a man to even prevent this kind of sicknesses that men normally suffer at the end of, when they're aging. In fact, it gives them a lot of benefit. Yes, so I think that one, let them, they have benefits. I was trying to get it, but I don't know where I kept it. Yeah, so there are a lot of benefits of sex.
Since our time is almost up and we couldn't start our section early, so the phone lines were not opened for today, I want to plead with you to give us your final words, and then someone might have challenges that they would want to talk to a good counselor about. And since we have you here, we would also ask you to put your number across so that they can reach you. You know, TV Africa, any program we bring on board is just to help our viewers understand whatever they are going through. We are here for them. And so please give us your final words and put your number at the end, you understand, so that they'll be able to call you.
Yeah, if you are married and you are watching me, one thing I want you to know, have a different view of sex. Like I said, for you to bond with your wife spiritually, you need sex psychologically. So when you see people, I always tell people, we're married that have frequent sex, hardly do they fight. Check it. So when you see couples fighting, it means their sexual, like I said, their sexual life is declining. So please, enjoy sex. Sex is good. God commanded us to have sex. So don't just move out. So when you ask, we are being told a lot of things about sex. So some people are not able to translate well, to delete some of these messages from our minds. Sex is good according to the Bible. So let's have good sex. And if you want to call me, you can call me on 0249 450 772. 0249 450 772.
So the number is 0249450772, and we've been speaking with a very wonderful counselor and a lecturer, Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah. Yes, so this has been the Breakfast Live on TV Africa. I want to say a very big thank you to Abbey Beauty Salon for my hair. Please call them on the number 0542678278, 0542678278, and also Jack Prama Stationery and Fashion Institute for my dress. Call them on the number 0559-400-676, 0559-400-676. I will meet you same time tomorrow with my brother Atu Texan, even as we take you through the Breakfast Live from 6:30 to 9 a.m. I believe you enjoyed the show, and I am sure tomorrow is going to be great. Please have a wonderful day. We love you. Thank you. Bye.